Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law with attorney Larry Foreman. Folks, today we are going to be talking about what happened yesterday morning, because this is bizarre. This is starting to smell like the Alec Murdaugh trial, Egg Lady, if you know what I'm talking about, which, by the way, that lady has been charged with perjury, among other charges, Becky Hill. I've met her in the flesh. I had no idea of the goings-on behind the scenes, but we're not here to talk about Murdaugh. We're here to talk about Karen Reed and what happened in court yesterday. Could this be grounds for a mistrial? Is something happening with the jury? Is it serious? Is it not serious? Let's discuss. So first and foremost, I received exclusive information from two individuals who were in court yesterday. Shout out to you, Will and Annie. I was live on their channel last night. We're going to play some clips from that show so that you guys get the most important pieces about what possibly could have happened yesterday. So we had a jury issue. That much is absolutely clear. Auntie Bev, yesterday morning around 9:45 a.m., lets everybody in the courtroom know, folks, we are going to excuse the members of the public. We're going to excuse the media. We're going to keep the lawyers here and keep the jurors here. And we're going to turn off the cameras. No cameras, no audio, no video. Already, my eyebrows are getting raised. What is happening, right? As should yours. Here is the clip.
Good morning, jurors. So, an issue has come to my attention that is going to make it necessary that I talk to each one of you individually over at sidebar with counsel. So that process will take a little while. So I'm going to, don't speculate as to what I'm going to talk to you about. Please, when you go back to the deliberation room, talk about anything but this case, and I'll see each of you individually. And the process may take time. The cameras will be shut off, and I'm going to talk to the lawyers about whether we clear the court. No filming. All right, send you back and we'll send you back. Thank you very much.
Now, as you can see in this very short, brief clip, Auntie Bev excuses everybody from the courtroom and tells everybody that they need to address an issue and talk to these jurors one-on-one. Now, that is suspicious. What exactly is happening? Has she been tipped off? Has a bailiff been tipped off? Did somebody talk? Did somebody look at social media? Has there been information leaking that jurors are looking at social media? Don't forget, folks, we are on break until Tuesday. Could it be completely innocuous? And because Bev knew that she is going to excuse them for 5 days, there is no court today, Thursday, May 22nd, no court Friday on May 23rd, and certainly Saturday, Sunday, and Monday is a holiday. We are not resuming court until Tuesday, May 27th. The jurors are getting a 5-day break. So is it possible that it's completely innocuous? Sure. Do we have confirmation of that? No, we do not. Could it be something more severe? Sure. Do we have any information about that? No, we do not. But here's what we do know for a fact. Number one, both Annie and Will, who were in the courtroom yesterday and Monday, they were there for both days, but I'm only going to focus on yesterday because that is when the jury issue happened. Annie said exactly what we heard in the previous clip. Auntie Bev is going to question the jurors individually, and that's why everybody just darted over to look at the jury, counting the seats, seeing where everyone is seated, and making sure that if there's going to be any type of juror missing or not coming back or switching seats with somebody else or whatever, then they're going to make a mental note of it and address it in a publication later on. So here's Annie Elise in her own words. Shout out to you, Annie.
Yeah, everybody was up in arms today about the jury and everything that went down this morning.
Yeah, tell me what happened.
Well, basically, like right when we got into court, she immediately called the sidebar and was talking with the attorneys. And it was interesting, like right away when she was talking with them, all of their eyes darted over to the gallery, and it's almost like you could see them mentally counting the seats to figure out what juror they were like referencing, which we couldn't hear anything, but like all of them were just looking and like counting the empty chairs. And then they announced that that was going to be questioning each juror individually. And then she said she wasn't sure. They were going to shut the cameras down for that, of course. She wasn't sure if she was going to excuse the courtroom, but then she decided to excuse all of us. And we were out for probably like an hour, maybe a little more than that, right? And then we all went back in.
Yeah.
And everybody was like speculating that a juror was replaced. It was a mistrial. No jurors were replaced. Someone even reported that the seating changed with the jurors. I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice it either.
Maybe possible, but I have a pretty good mental image of where everybody was sitting, and I don't think anybody switched.
Same
seats.
here.
There was some rumor that like I saw right before I came down here that there was a rumor that like 2 jurors were flirting, and that's why they separated them all. That doesn't make sense because the person who's claiming there was a separation says that it was like from the middle of one of the back rows and the corner. I'm like, what? They're already separated. Why would you need to flip that?
Right.
I don't know.
So as you can see, the members of the media and the public were all very curious and interested because it feels like it came completely out of left field. There's nothing but rumors and speculation as to what coulda, shoulda, woulda happened or whatever. So there's no direct evidence of anything at all. No one is being told anything. And of course, Alan Jackson, Yannetti, Alessi, and Little, and Brennan and Lally, they're not going to leak this information to the public because this is very sensitive information involving the jury that is going to be deciding Karen Reed's fate. So naturally, no information is available as of the recording of this video, which is Thursday, May 22nd, just a few hours before it premieres for you all at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And by the way, don't forget to like this video, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more wonderful videos. Now, this next clip I want to play is what happened after everybody was allowed back into the courtroom. Auntie Bev stresses a very interesting fact, and now we have our first piece of evidence as to what they might have been talking about for that hour and a half that everyone was out of the courtroom. Auntie Bev says it's very important that you do not discuss this case and do not watch any social media on the topic. Let's watch it in Bev's own words.
All right, so jurors, I still have a couple of questions for you. Were you able to follow the instructions and refrain from doing any independent research or investigation into this case? And we've discussed the other 2 questions, but I do need to stress for you that it's very, very important that no one discuss this case. Don't let anyone talk to you about the case. No comments about the case. You've seen how hard the lawyers have worked to pull this case together for you, and everybody's given it so much time. So please, let's make sure that we follow that. That means each other. So with that, I know we're late getting started. We're going to take an abbreviated lunch today, only 30 minutes, and abbreviated breaks. So no morning break. We're going to start now and go till 1. All right, Mr. Brennan, and we're taking a witness out of order. I apologize. We've got a witness here. Sometimes we take witnesses out of order. Ms. Hanley will be back later for the rest of her testimony, but we've got a witness here that we'll call out of order. Thank you, Mr. Brennan.
You see, it's very telling. It's almost as if they have information, and by they, I mean the court and the lawyers, that one of the jurors may have potentially violated the order not to discuss the case or look at social media. I mean, that is the telltale sign. That's the only thing that she said. How important it is, how crucial it is. It's really weird. It's really bizarre. I don't exactly understand what she truly means by it. And are we going to get enough jurors to be able to go deliberate? I mean, when we come back on Tuesday, if she's going to do this again, I mean, I can't help but wonder, what if we lose too many jurors? It would be a mistrial automatically. If we get down to 11 jurors, this is why we have extras. I think we were at 18. If I'm not mistaken, I believe we lost at least 1, possibly 2. Let me know in the comments below if you have been keeping track of how many jurors we have lost since the trial began on April Fool's Day. You can't make this stuff up. But the jury wasn't seated until like April 21st or 22nd. It was that Tuesday, 3 weeks later. So that was opening statements by Brennan and Jackson. So I can't help but wonder what exactly happened. But let's listen once again to Annie tell us in her own words what they felt about this.
Yeah, she questioned each one individually, so I think without saying too much, it's just safe to say it's like just to make sure nobody's opinion has been tainted through social media or through conversation or like being out in public. That's fair to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she just doesn't want the public to know anything about what's going on with jurors. That's all. Which is fine.
I will say, and I don't know if we talked about this. I think we probably did. And I'm losing my mind, I think, but were you surprised seeing, without going into a lot of detail, seeing the makeup of the jury?
Was I surprised seeing the makeup of the jury?
Yeah, like to me, the whole group as a whole, it skews much younger than I thought.
Very different than the first, very different from the first trial. The jury, much younger. The majority of the people are younger than I would expect.
Yeah.
As you can see, Annie believes the same thing. It makes sense. It makes logical sense that Auntie Bev has this fear, whether it's based in fact, based in speculation, based in reality, based in conjecture, whatever it may be. I'm in agreement with Annie that Bev just wants a clean trial in that regard. I know she's done so much. I know we don't have to rehash it. But as far as the jury is concerned, she does have the ultimate responsibility to make sure that they don't talk amongst themselves about this case. And she also has to make absolute certainty that they do not look at social media and are in no way influenced by anything outside the four corners of the room, meaning witness testimony and documents and video that are coming into evidence. That's the whole point of the jury, is to render a decision based on the facts and evidence presented alone, and that alone. So, last but not least, I do want to show you one last clip from my two insiders, Will and Annie, from yesterday. So finally, Will brings up a very excellent point. It's very possible that there was some word beyond rumor, like borderline fact. Otherwise, Auntie Bev would never just stop proceedings and question each and every single juror individually. I mean, that is an egregious move, to just freeze everything and go one by one by one by one with the lawyers and the judge. Hey, what did you do? Hey, what did you do? Hey, what did you do? Hey, you see what I'm saying? So Will makes a really, really great point that Bev, again, just wanted to make sure nobody talked, nobody looked at anything. And let's hear it in Will's own words.
Okay, so, I mean, obviously, if an educated guess would dictate that she thought somebody talked about the case or something, and then questioned each one of them about it, and then I mean all the same jurors were there, so
no notebooks were moved around. There's only one juror who is not taking any notes. Everybody else is taking notes, and like pretty intently so. Some of them I would say are reactionary faces. All of them at the final cross today their eyes were glued on Jackson. Like I'm talking everybody's face at the same time, just following him.
Wait, say that again. Sorry, say that again.
All of their faces, all the jurors during Alan's cross at the end of the day, they were like glued to him. Whereas before, when Lally was up, they were like looking at him, looking at the witness when she would respond, but like not everybody was tuned in. But when Jackson was up, everyone was like laser focused on him, their eyes just tracking him as he walked back and forth. I was like, they were really paying close attention.
Okay. So folks, is there going to be a mistrial? Not likely. But anything is possible. Is a juror going to get struck between now and Tuesday? Sure, anything is possible. I guess we will find out on Tuesday. Is Bev going to do individual voir dire of the jury one by one like she did yesterday? Again, yes, anything is possible. It all remains to be seen. I just want to see Karen walk away from this. The more I'm listening to this trial, folks, the more I am realizing I found out yesterday. I was yesterday years old when I learned that Brennan is almost done with his case in chief. How is that even possible? He hasn't called Higgins. He hasn't called Brian Albert. He hasn't called Matthew McCabe. He hasn't called Colin Albert. He hasn't called Allie McCabe. He hasn't called former disgraced Massachusetts State Police officer Michael Proctor. He hasn't called Trooper Paul. So many other key witnesses that are absolutely essential to his case in chief. And here's the problem. When you don't call your witnesses, that's bad lawyering. Now, if you want a good lawyer, call us. 1-844-774-HERT, 1-844-774-HERT. Lawyers are standing by. We have an answering service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call us anytime. My answering service will take a message down. If you have been injured in the last year due to someone else's negligence, trial lawyers like myself are here to get you the most money possible under the law. Put it in your pocket. Like J.G. Wentworth. It's your money. Use it when you need it. Like, oh, I hated those commercials growing up as a kid in America. But whatever. It doesn't matter. If you need a good lawyer, call us 1-844-774-HERT. We'd love to help you. I actually don't know if you guys know this, but but as of the recording of this video just a few minutes ago, I have been officially retained by Tom's CPU. Shout out to you, Tom. He reached out to me after people told me he has been injured. Obviously, I can't reach out to him, solicitation rules and all that good stuff. But he reached out to me, and that's fair game. I have a signed agreement, and we are going to represent him alongside with Bao, both against the same trooper, Michael Hardo Hardman. He's going to pay, and his department is going to pay. So I will make sure of that, and I will continue on cranking out these videos. So yeah, so what is going to happen ultimately with respect to this case, as far as the jury's concerned? I am convinced that Brennan is throwing this trial. I am absolutely convinced, folks, that Brennan is throwing this trial. They just want it over with. Everyone seems to be very, what's the word? Lackadaisic, lackluster. I'm probably not even pronouncing these words correctly. It's just words that I don't typically use, but I'm being serious. It's just so obvious that nobody in the room, including the prosecutors or the judge, believe that Karen is going to get convicted of this. But they have to go through the motions. They have to go through the motions. And it's very unfortunate that Karen has to suffer through all of this. But what can you do? I mean, a corrupt system is trying to steamroll an innocent woman, and we just have to sit there and watch. And I think Brennan is setting the stage, because Lally really screwed the pooch. He made a very long trial happen, and it was a mistrial. So now they're trying to cut it short. They're axing like 50 witnesses. I mean, was it like they're not even calling the doctors? Oh my God, I forgot about the doctors from Good Samaritan. I don't believe any of those testified. Where are the nurses from Good Samaritan? They didn't testify in either trial. And they're about to close their evidence on Tuesday? It's a joke. Brennan is throwing this case. He's actually getting paid, and he has instructions. I am 100% convinced now. Just make sure to like get the not guilty, and let's just go away. The prosecutor has officially turned defense attorney. We now have 6 defense attorneys in the courtroom, and they are as follows: Alan Jackson, Robert Alessi, Liza Little, David Yannetti, Adam Lally, Hank Brennan. And I think that one female prosecutor, I never remember her name because she never speaks, but there are basically now 7 defense attorneys in the courtroom, and there are no prosecutors. There are 7 defense attorneys in the courtroom and a random person in a black robe, let's just call her, because she doesn't deserve much more than that, who occasionally makes rulings, and all of them pretty much bad. So folks, I'm going to leave you with this. I hope you learned something. I hope that this case comes to a close. We are probably 3 weeks away from deliberations, I would say, and we're going to continue cranking out 2 videos a day. So you probably already seen the short that we released today at 1 o'clock, and then at 4 p.m. this video, all in Eastern Daylight Time, which is where I live. And tonight, I'm going to be answering your questions. And then tomorrow, we'll resume with some more courtroom testimony. I wanted to change it up a bit, especially since there's no court today. I wanted to give you guys some insider information. I'm sure you all could appreciate it. And yeah, I'm going to see you guys tonight and then tomorrow. Get out of here. Bye, everybody.